Hi, Virgo Sun and Rising. Welcome to your April 2024 Astro Update. It's Rena here. So, in April, there's a particularly significant transit in the sign of Taurus. Taurus for you is the ninth house, which is connected to is ruled by Sagittarius in astrology. By the way, I'm a sun in Sag, and I have the moon in Virgo. I have some outer planets in Virgo too. So I have that Virgo snark happening too. But anyway, this is a very expansive area in life, so you should start to feel very, hopeful, cheery, positive as we get into the second half of the month. However, because Aries is your eighth house, that's Scorpio's domain, and so that's quite different. But they do share one thing in common. Scorpio can be metaphysics, and that's the eighth house and the occult, and the ninth house is more, to me, like straightforward, organized religions, and that's Sagittarius's specialty. So let's start at the beginning. On April Fool's Day, Mercury goes retrograde. How perfect is that? At 27 degrees of Aries. So that's going to be in your eighth house. This Mercury can be some kind of document, for instance. So eighth house can be shared resources. If you have a will, this could, kind of be a snafu with that will. Something could be kind of going haywire with some kind of document like that. Mercury goes direct on the 25th, and even though it'll be in its shadow a little bit after that, it is very fast moving. So don't worry about being stuck with, something along these lines. If you've really been trying to sort things out, you might be very eager to have things running smoothly. Well, there might be a little bit of a hiccup, but it's not the end of the world. Also, any planet that goes retrograde, this can be a time where the person goes within, and this can be an especially profound period for Virgos. Mercury is your ruler, and you're used to this more mundane version of what Mercury represents, because the mind and the consciousness are not one and the same. They are connected, but the mind is, you could talk about the higher mind, but I'm talking about Mercury ruling the third house. It rules your house too, the sixth house. But in terms of the third house, that is the mundane mind that Gemini rules. It's a house of teaching and learning, practical things that are not necessarily lofty subjects, but things that are, useful to navigate this world. But the eighth house, where it's going to retrograde for you, is about the secrets of the universe. It's about your transformation, and what does that involve? Also, other things besides wills, it could be like child support payments. There might be something that is slipping through the cracks, but it will get resolved eventually, and it'll be sooner rather than later. On the 4th, Venus goes into Aries. Venus goes into that eighth house, and that can mean a more intimate connection with a loved one. that means that if you have gotten married, maybe, who knows, because I'm recording this on the eve of the new moon in Pisces, and that's going to fall in your 7th house. So that's the marriage house. So you may be in a honeymoon phase where you're really getting to know, and I'm not saying you have to be married, but committing to somebody, the 7th house. In the 8th house, it's like bearing your soul to that person. Venus can also mean money. And the 8th house, maybe you're benefiting from somebody else's money. Maybe your partner got a raise. On the 8th, solar eclipse, 19 degrees of Aries in that house. This is the house, I said, of personal alchemy. So it could be the person who is committed to changing themselves. Maybe changing themselves radically. And by doing so, they jumpstart their life. I mean, the solar eclipse can be that this area is really getting triggered and it's faded, meaning that this is a time to expand your territory, get out of your comfort zone. Maybe you are exploring non-traditional spiritual practices. I put the earth religions, and that's why I said shamanism, because it really emphasizes transformation. On the 19th, the sun goes into Taurus, into that 9th house. Like I said, that can indicate expansive qualities. And the very next day, there is a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction at 21 degrees of Taurus. Jupiter rules the 9th house in astrology. So Jupiter is in its own domain, and this can be long-distance travel. With Uranus, it could be something that is very surprising, unexpected, where you get this opportunity to travel. And it may be something that you have wanted to do, and this is like the best news ever. So keep in mind that there might be something that comes your way at this time along those lines. On the 23rd, we have a full moon at 4 degrees of Scorpio. For Virgo individuals, this is the 3rd house. This is the mundane mind that I was talking about. And a full moon here can be a spiritual download. So it can take it to a higher level, and this can make you connect the dots and understand what is really going on with you. Because, the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, Uranus can be the Kundalini activation. That could be also at a higher level, some kind of eureka moment, or, whatever you want to call it. And then this is just kind of a continuation of that. Maybe you're finishing some kind of educational project. I mean, like teaching, elementary school. 3rd house can be the lower grades. Or maybe you're finishing some kind of training for yourself. On the 25th, Mercury goes direct at 16 degrees of Aries. I discussed that already. On the 29th, Venus goes into Taurus. So Venus goes into that 9th house. Who knows? Maybe there's some kind of a love interest, and you have been communicating online, and you're going to meet that person when you travel. Or maybe, maybe this is somebody that you've already known, and you're going to go and visit them again. Or they have Venus in the 9th house can simply mean falling in love with somebody of a different nationality. So they could be coming to this country, whatever this country means for you. And it might even be a different race, a different nationality or ethnicity. Money for travel, money for college. The 30th, Mars goes into Aries. So Mars goes into that 8th house. That could mean beginning a fight, fighting for money that is from shared resources. Whether that is from, family money or your money with an ex. There could be some kind of conflict. This is a very sexual energy. The 8th house has a sexual connotation, and Mars is a sex drive. So Venus was in that area, maybe on an emotional level or romantic level, and now it's like, all right, let's do this. Let's have our tantric yoga. You may be pursuing something. There's like a physicality with Mars. Maybe you're doing some kind of shamanism that has a physical component to it. I do believe, Kundalini yoga. Typically, I think of yoga as being connected to the 9th house because it's kind of that philosophical framework, but maybe there's some other spiritual alchemical practices that you might be very actively pursuing at this time. Okay, Virgo, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.